or that, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So you're actually in a pretty awesome position, because most people, like, they just end up starting so low on their calories that they basically screw themselves in the long run, because what are you going to do if you start at 1,300 calories? Where are you going to go? Nowhere, right?
Yeah.
Like, you have nowhere to go. You either can starve yourself, which obviously has its own problems, or you can try to do endless amounts of cardio, which is what a lot of people do. And number one, that's not practical, it's not fun, and it also doesn't last. And plus, with low calories and cardio, you're gonna lose muscle mass. So you are probably in the best place that you could possibly be. Now, I your adherence has gone up from week to week, and even that is an area for you to make a lot of progress as you begin to tighten that window of, like, what calories are you supposed to be at?
25.
25. Did I give you a window? I should have given you, like, a range.
One it was just the 2,500, and then the protein, carbs, and fat
Okay.
goals.
So usually, like, we'll want to be within 100 calories up or down. So that's what I mean by the range. And so most days you only had one day where you were over. The other days, and so if you average that out, you're right on the dot pretty much. So that's really, really good. And then you had a few days where I would say protein, bump it up.
Yeah.
Other than that, and then, so one of the things is, like, I want you to notice how, technically, I never say, like, oh, you don't really need to focus on, like, food quality at this moment. Obviously, it's good to eat real foods, but like, pay attention to certain foods. Do they make you feel worse? Do they make you feel better? So then you can start to, have that list of, like, I know these foods cause me to have, bloating or not feel good every time I eat them. Or I feel sluggish. So then you can slowly, you just keep that in the back of your mind. This is not super important, but it's important to just pay attention. What is this stuff doing to my body? Same with exercise. You might notice, like, every time I do this certain exercise, like, I have the following day, I have a ache in my knee, or my back is really tight. So then, because that's gonna let us make better corrections and adjustments. So before I give you the two options, any of that stuff, any questions on any of that?
No, I have been, like, trying to get more protein, but it ends up being, like, protein with a lot of fat. Like, fat is more than the protein. So just trying to work on that dynamic.
Yeah. So what options have you been going with?
Mainly with, like, the meats, or, like, I make, like, protein pancakes, or just stuff to put it all in, like, with chia seeds, or.
Okay. So that's usually that's what happens. So here's my recommendation. So I'm gonna give you a couple different recommendations. One is, the big idea is, like, have as much of your protein come from lean sources, and make that your priority, because everything else is pretty much easy, because carbs are easy, fats are easy. It's just making sure you get the protein, and so this is where, like, chicken is, the best, because it's lean. Chicken breast has, like, no fat. The tricky part with chicken is you got to know how to cook it well so that it tastes good, because most people suck. They just suck.
I've seen your Instagram story.
Yeah.
It's been nice.
So, I mean, that's that. And so what that does is, like, I cook at night. I cook, 1 pound to 2 pounds of chicken breast at night, which takes me about 15 minutes-ish, 20. And I mean, you haven't tasted the chicken, but you can see it. It's fucking phenomenal. Like, it tastes delicious. So that's one thing I would recommend investing. I don't know, how do you feel about your chicken cooking skills?
They can improve.
Okay. So
I come from a very bland family.
yeah. So if that, you might want to take, a little bit of time, just work on it. You're going to mess the chicken up. It's going to get dry. You're going to not cook it all the way. But I promise you, even like a day or two of just practicing cooking chicken will pay off for the rest of your life. Okay. So that's one recommendation. Obviously, then there's, the other lean meats, lean ground beef, lean ground turkey, leaner cuts of beef, egg whites, protein shakes. So once you have that, then really like the rest of the calories become easy, right? Because you got your protein, everything else is easy. And don't be afraid of like, oh, protein shakes. I don't want to drink a lot of protein shakes. Like, if you want to, if that's what you have to do to get the job done, then there's nothing bad with that. Right now, we're just focused on hitting that number, getting close to it, and yes, you should eat real food, but everything is like, there's priorities to everything, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, we're not gonna get good at everything all at once. Like, I mean, basketball is a great example. Like, every year you didn't add 30 new skills in 1 year, right? Like, every summer we add a new skill. Like, we build, and you can't add certain skills unless you can, you have your base skills. So getting protein easily is, a huge foundational skill.
Okay. So
go ahead.
That's pretty much all.
Okay.
My questions.
Is that helpful as far as like the protein answer goes?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, like I'll try to, I have the footage, I just need to edit it and put it up, but like what I've really found is like, you can cook up to like 2 pounds of chicken breast in, 8, even up to like 12 strips of bacon, which makes it taste phenomenal. And it only adds like 12 to 16 grams of fat. So it's very low fat, but it tastes amazing. So, I think people go way too black or white. They go, oh no, I'm not gonna eat any fats, right? And so they're eating these lean chicken breasts and they're putting the Pam spray on it, and it just doesn't taste good. So, being aware of like, actually, even if you cook it in some oil or some bacon fat, it doesn't add a lot of calories to the whole thing. That's fine. Plus, you got some bacon to eat afterwards. I don't know if you eat bacon or not.
It's the best.
Yeah. So that would be my recommendation. And I used to be super like aware of avoiding all oils and fats and butters because they rack up calories so fast. But like, this is like a perfect, it's not a lot, but you can cook with it and then it tastes phenomenal. So I'll try to get that up like soon. I just gotta edit the video. So cool. So that's that. Now, 2 options I was gonna give you. Option 1,
Yes.
which is kind of what we're talking about. We want to lose fat at the highest amount of calories we can, because then we have more room to cut calories down the road if needed. That's a slower process. There's a lot of good things you learn during that process. It's a lot more sustainable because you have more food. Option B, I feel like you're in a place where you have a good understanding now of the basic fundamentals, where I think you could take advantage of option B, and it wouldn't have any negative effects. And option B is we cut calories and we get in there and we get rid of some body fat. That means dropping calories. That means you got to be way more on point. It means you're going to be, it requires a little bit more. And obviously there's less food, right? So that's option B. And so there's a time and a place where rapid fat loss is good, and it can be encouraging. Like, you do 4 weeks of rapid fat loss, we drop calories significantly. You might come out with, 10, 15, 20 pounds of fat loss, right? Whatever. And then we go back into, a little bit more of a sustained pace. And we bump our calories back up. But that's an option that I think you would be able to manage. A lot of people, I don't like that for them, because they're just not mentally ready. Like, they just want to live at low calories, and that's not good. Like, you're literally setting them up for failure. And there's going to be a lot of good things you're going to learn from dropping calories significantly as well. Like, you're going to learn, okay, how am I going to get protein with 1,500 calories? Like, what things am I going to have to pay attention to? It'll be challenging, but it'll be also a good tool in your tool belt. So those are the two options that I want to present to you, and let me know, what do you think about those?
I'm all for learning more, and pretty competitive, so I would like to try it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so that's what we will do then. We'll aim for 4 to 8 weeks, and so we're gonna get after it. And it's cool. It's a really cool process. Like, man, you're gonna be very like, what happens physically is pretty awesome. Like, the way you look is gonna be pretty badass. Your focus is gonna be like reminding yourself, this is only 4 to 8 weeks. This is not a lifestyle. This is a tool that I'm learning how to use, that will set me up for longer success. And then once we get our calories back up and we go, if we want to lose more body fat, then we have more sustained fat loss. But it's just like, if you can lose, if you're mentally capable and emotionally in a good place to quickly lose a bunch of body fat, why not? And you got the tools to do so.
Right.
All right. So let's see. Anything else?
Not that I can think of. I'm like, I'm excited, but a little nervous for it.
Good. That's good.
It's good.
Get ready. We're about to get some gains.
Will you shoot over that info, or is it just, I don't
What was that?
Where to start?
What'd you say?
When do we start?
Let's start tomorrow. And then this will show up in the app under nutrition.
Okay.
There'll be a section where it has like a PDF. You could download it, you could print it. And then all the guidelines will be in there.
Sweet.
All right.
Awesome. Thank you.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
All right, Allie. I'll talk to you later then.
Sounds good. Have a good day.
Bye.